Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Today, I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health risk for December 29th, 2025. We do keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com, and we maintain a storefront on Amazon, Patient Weather. And if you do your shopping on Amazon through our storefront, Patient Weather, it supports the activities of Patient Weather. Looking at the surface map for Monday, Migraine Monday, is actually covered and dominated by high pressure, with that actual low pressure center holding only over Maine, and its cold front really off the coast and cutting back only through Tampa, Orlando. Looking at our vitality index, which is that composite of activities of that weather that impacts human health, and you can see it covers really most of the eastern two-thirds of the nation, we might say every way from the Rockies east. Pressure change, of course, is one of the issues that we always look at, and you'll note that we have some falling pressure only here in northern Montana into northern North Dakota. We also have a major swath of falling pressure running from New York across New Jersey, covering all of New England and moving on to the Canadian provinces, and covering, of course, those more northern Canadian cities, Ottawa, Quebec. Rising pressure, however, is the issue for the heartland, literally from New Mexico across Texas up into Oklahoma, and then in a line from Louisiana up through Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota, and everywhere east through the Ohio Valley into the Great Lakes, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, touching the westernmost portions of Pennsylvania and making it all the way into Georgia. Looking at temperature change, and here's the shock. We have those warming temperatures here in Montana, Wyoming, and up into the Dakotas. We have warming temperatures still with that low up in New England. However, we have drastically frigid Arctic air pushing all the way back through the heartland, covering and stumping from the Great Lakes, the easternmost portions of the Mississippi Valley, across the Ohio Valley, all the way south through Georgia, and then all the way across the south to Texas into New Mexico. Dew point temperature change supports that same pattern with a massive swath of cold through the eastern third of the nation, warming temperatures back here in the northern plains and northern Rockies, and that rising dew point temperatures here up in Maine, but starting to push out into the Atlantic, and the vapor pressure is just supporting that same kind of activity. Looking at POI, which is our change of oxygen in the atmosphere, again, we have much the same pattern where we have asthma and arthritis running across the northern Rockies, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and across the northern plains here up in western portions of Nebraska, the Dakotas, Montana, and Wyoming. And then we have the risk of asthma and arthritis here again in New England, from New York State, eastern Pennsylvania, across the Massachusetts, Connecticut, and on into New England. But note, we have that risk of migraine, irritability, even stroke in some of the more significant areas for people that are that sensitive, all the way from New Mexico across Texas and Oklahoma, all the way to Georgia, actually picking up the Florida Panhandle, and then north up the backside of the Appalachians all the way into western Pennsylvania, and picking in all of the states from Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, up into Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Really might call it a Migraine Monday for almost everywhere from the plains to the backside of the Appalachians. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.